What is a river? At its simplest, it is water, water that moves. It flows from high places to low places. It carves paths through the earth, shaping the world around us. For all of life, water is not just a drink, it is existence itself. Every plant, every animal, every human being on this planet depends on it. We are born from water. Our bodies are mostly made of it. Without water, the vibrant green of our world would turn to dust. It is the fundamental ingredient for life as we know it, a simple truth that connects every living thing in a shared, silent understanding of need. This flowing water is more than just a resource. It is a presence. Think about the sound of a river. It is a constant whisper, a gentle roar, a song that never ends. It speaks of power and persistence. A river can be calm and inviting, a place for quiet thought. It can also be a raging torrent, a force of nature that commands respect. This dual nature, this ability to be both a giver of life and a symbol of immense power, has captured the human imagination for thousands of years. We are drawn to the water's edge, not just to drink or to wash, but to simply be near it. Look at a map of our world. You will see civilizations built along the great rivers, the Nile in Egypt, the Indus in Asia, the Tigris and Euphrates in the Middle East. These were not just sources of water for crops and cities. They were the cradles of culture, the birthplaces of ideas, and the centers of spiritual life. The river was a constant companion to our ancestors. It provided for their bodies, but it also nourished their souls. They looked at the flowing water and saw a mirror of their own lives, a story of journeys, of struggles, and of eventual return to a greater source. This deep, primal connection to water is something we all share. It is written into our DNA. It is a memory passed down through generations. When we stand by a river, we are standing where countless others have stood before us. They looked at the same flowing water and asked the same big questions. Where did we come from? Where are we going? What is our purpose? The river does not give easy answers. Instead, it offers a space for wonder. It invites us to look deeper, to feel the current, and to consider the great mysteries of our own existence. Across the globe, in nearly every culture and faith, rivers are seen as more than just water. They are sacred. They are holy. They are seen as living things, as gods and goddesses, or as pathways to the divine. In India, the Ganges River is not just a body of water. She is the goddess Ganga, a mother who purifies all who touch her waters. Millions of people make pilgrimages to her banks. They believe that bathing in her sacred flow can wash away sins and bring them closer to spiritual liberation. This is a profound belief where water becomes a vessel for divine grace. This idea is not unique to one place. Travel to ancient Egypt and you will find the Nile River. For the Egyptians, the Nile was the source of all life. Its yearly flood was not a disaster but a blessing. It brought rich soil to the land, ensuring a bountiful harvest. The river was so central to their existence that they structured their calendar, their myths, and their religious life around its rhythms. The god Hapi was the personification of the flood, celebrated and worshipped for bringing prosperity and life to the kingdom. The river was a god, a provider, and the very heart of their civilization. In many indigenous traditions, rivers are considered the veins of Mother Earth. They are living, breathing entities with spirits that must be respected and protected. For these cultures, a river is a relative, a family member. To pollute a river is to harm a sacred being. These beliefs teach a powerful lesson about our relationship with nature. They remind us that we are not separate from the environment, but a part of it. The health of the river is connected to the health of the people, and the health of the people is connected to the health of the river. Even in stories that seem more modern, the power of river water persists. In the Christian faith, the River Jordan holds a special place. It is the river where Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist. This act was not just about getting clean, it was a powerful spiritual event, a symbol of purification, rebirth, and a new beginning in faith. Today, people from all over the world travel to the Jordan River. They touch its water or are baptized in it, seeking to connect with that same moment of profound spiritual transformation. The river becomes a bridge, connecting the present to a sacred past. Humans have always used river water in their most important ceremonies. One of the most common uses is for cleansing. This is not just about washing away physical dirt. It is about spiritual purification. It is the idea that water can wash away our mistakes, our sorrows, or our negative energies. When someone enters a river for a spiritual bath, they are leaving their old self behind. They step out of the water feeling renewed, refreshed, and ready for a new start. This simple act of washing becomes a deep and meaningful ritual of transformation for the soul. Blessings are another way we use river water. Water from a sacred river might be collected and sprinkled on people, homes, or objects. This is done to bring protection, good fortune, or divine favor. The water is believed to carry the river's sacred power with it. Imagine a priest dipping a branch into river water and shaking it over a crowd. Each drop that falls is a tiny piece of the river's spirit, a small gift of grace shared with everyone. It is a way of bringing the holiness of the river into the everyday lives of the community, making the sacred accessible to all. Rivers also play a central role in ceremonies that mark the great transitions of life. Births, coming-of-age ceremonies, weddings, and even funerals are often held near a river. The flowing water becomes a witness to these important moments. For a newborn baby, a touch of river water can be a first blessing. For a departed soul, ashes might be scattered into the current, symbolizing a return to the great cycle of life and nature. The river is there for the beginning, and it is there for the end, a constant presence in our human journey from one stage of life to the next. Think of the simple act of making a wish and tossing a coin or a flower into a river. This is a small, personal ritual that connects us to the water's flow. We are sending our hopes, our dreams, and our intentions out into the world, carried by the current. The river becomes a messenger, taking our prayers on a journey. It is a gesture of trust and of letting go. We release our desires to a power greater than ourselves, hoping that the ever-moving water will help bring them to life. This shows how deeply the idea of the river as a spiritual force is woven into our lives. The most powerful spiritual meaning of a river is its flow. A river is never still. It is always moving, always changing, yet it is always itself. This is a beautiful metaphor for life. Our lives are also in constant motion. We are always growing, learning, and changing. The river teaches us that change is natural and necessary. It shows us that to be alive is to be in a state of flow. We cannot stop the river, just as we cannot stop time. The wisest path is to learn to move with the current, to adapt, and to embrace the journey. A river is also a symbol of connection. It connects the mountains to the sea. It connects different lands and different peoples. A single drop of water can travel for thousands of miles, touching countless shores and lives along the way. In the same way, rivers connect us to each other. People who live along the same river share a common lifeline. They share its gifts and its challenges. This shared experience builds community and reminds us that we are all part of a larger human family, all drinking from the same great stream of life. This sense of connection extends beyond people and places. It connects us to nature itself. When we stand by a river, we are witnessing a fundamental process of the earth. We see the water cycle in action. We see the plants and animals that depend on the river for their survival. We are reminded that we are just one part of a vast, interconnected web of life. This feeling can be humbling and awe-inspiring. It helps us see beyond our own small worries and appreciate the magnificent world we belong to. The river is a teacher of ecological wisdom. Ultimately, the river connects us to something greater than ourselves. You can call it God, the universe, the spirit, or simply the great mystery of existence. The endless flow of a river mirrors the endless flow of time and creation. It suggests that we come from a vast source and will one day return to it. Standing by a river can be a deeply spiritual, almost meditative experience. It quiets the mind and opens the heart. It helps us feel that we are part of an unbroken, ever-flowing story, a story that is ancient, beautiful, and deeply alive.